What's up? Today I'm talking about how we recently went on a mission for one of our amazing client couples. I had a lot of fun with it too. The goal was to find them a home, and not just any home, but a dream home. A home that made sense for our clients and captured their personalities and lifestyles. After gathering specific criteria from our clients, Ashley and Chris, then the challenge began. Using that criteria they provided us with, I was able to show them some homes in different geographical locations and figure out which home they liked the best based on the info that they gave us. I asked strategic questions that would help us in our discoveries about figuring out what and where their dream home could potentially be. Questions like, how do you enjoy spending your days off? Are there certain amenities you absolutely need to be close to? Do you prefer privacy or do you want neighbors? I actually took it to another level and met with Ashley and Chris for a Zoom call and asked them all these questions that helped us narrow things down, and they really enjoyed that part of the challenge. Our questionnaire is super fun, or at least I think so, and it highlights key info that helped us pinpoint their dream home. Land or subdivisions, beach or mountains, tropical climate or four seasons, never snow, white Christmases. These are all things that you've got to consider when moving, and not everyone thinks of these questions. For example, if you want to live somewhere where you can golf year round, and I mean outdoors, not Top Golf or inside a simulator, if you do, then you have no business living in the Midwest. Or if you're planning to retire and you want to be someplace where you can hop on a boat and go saltwater fish for marlin or swordfish at any time you please, then you can't live somewhere landlocked. You get the picture. Alright, so Ashley and Chris both work from home, and one thing that was a must for them was being able to wake up to Mother Nature right outside their front door. They wanted to be close to a view, and keep in mind, this is good because I can relate, because I also love looking out to a beautiful tree line and watching birds, so right away, I felt like I was on the same page. They enjoyed bike riding, walking paths, and being outdoors in general. I thought this can't be a small subdivision with cookie cutter homes right off the bat where you'll be staring at your neighbors or a fence. So this was a very important key feature to know for these clients. So ultimately, they wanted something tranquil, private with nature and views. They had been living in Wisconsin for most of their lives and made it very clear they didn't want to be isolated during those winter months. Now wait, before we show you all the houses, obviously budget was a huge piece of the equation. So Ashley was a retired military vet who works in IT now, and Chris is an online professor, and their budget was around $500,000. They wanted their taxes below $3,000 per year, which is easy to do down here because unlike almost every other state, Alabama is pretty fair with their property taxes. And in addition to that, Ashley and Chris also said they like to live a minimalist lifestyle, so being in close proximity to stores and whatnot isn't really a big deal. They actually buy everything in bulk, so convenience to grocery stores or big box stores was completely irrelevant to them. When I met with them on Zoom and asked them all the questions about what they liked, they both said they love a mountain view, so that really gave me an idea of what they really wanted, and they'd prefer a rustic home. That made this challenge even more fun for me because I love unique homes, and the more rustic properties I can look for, the better. They just have so much character, and the first property that was a match was in Colorado. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is about Alabama, and I'm about to get to that, I swear, just hear me out. Ashley said she liked the outdoors and wanted to be around mountains and didn't need to be around the city, so I thought of colorful Colorado. When Jess's family got away when she was young, they went to Estes and we visited, and it's surrounded by amazing views. Plus, we have a lot of real estate connections because we work with so many people who are relocating, so I reached out to another realtor that we've worked with in the past, and this way Ashley can hike and mountain bike and enjoy nature. I for sure thought this was an option after all. She said anywhere in the country, so check this place out. Colorado really is amazing, but the one thing that I hate about Colorado is the cold and what comes with it. You have to shop ahead of time if there's going to be a blizzard. The mountains are nice, but elevation can be tricky if you're not used to it. And for me, I can't enjoy it year round because I'm a baby. I'll be honest, I shiver like a chihuahua. Ultimately, Ashley and Chris loved the style home, but agreed snow was a no-go. It reminded them of the brutal Wisconsin winters that they were trying to get away from. So next up was something I thought they would enjoy, and as I'm looking at the home and the breathtaking views, I'm like, this is the one, this is it. Another property so similar to the one in Colorado, but not in the cold weather, and I'm thinking, boom, this could be a winner. Now this is a nice property. It has the views, rustic, private, but ultimately the climate was a deal breaker. Ashley and Chris agreed that it was just way too dry in Arizona and it wasn't their cup of tea. So Colorado was a bust because of the snow. The Arizona climate was a hard pass. This left us with one more property to show Ashley and Chris, and in our minds, this next one had to be the winner. It was in the warm climate that they wanted. The property was unique and nestled in a tranquil location, and the one thing that stood out the most was that it had no mountain views. And it doesn't snow here, but the one thing that it had was beach views, and they didn't love that initially, but here we are, and walking and biking is achievable almost daily. The home boasted plenty of nature, including the Audubon Bird Sanctuary that was just a 2-minute drive away, or a short bike ride, and again, there would be no snow and no isolation because of the cold weather while living here, which they liked. But number 3 was ultimately the winner. It was in a low-key area away from the hustle and bustle of the bigger cities. The coastal cottage on the Gulf Coast of Lower Alabama was the end-all be-all for Ashley and Chris, and I was sitting at the edge of my seat like, are they gonna like this place? What's the reaction gonna be? At the end of the day, they said we nailed it, and I guess we should have known because they've reached out to us. But then again, sometimes people are wondering or they're confused and they don't know what they want to do. I'll take this one though. Challenge accepted, and we came out on top. I was just happy they loved the area because it wasn't directly on the Gulf Coast of Mexico, but it gave them plenty of views of pelicans and palm trees and beautiful pines and birds chirping in the morning in a serene setting. It was just a beautiful thing. One of my favorite things was the water being so close that they could buy a boat, which they didn't note in their Zoom call with us, but I'm still working with Chris on that one because if you live by the water, why not? That's like living on a golf course and not playing one round of golf. It just doesn't make sense. And I know sometimes things don't need to make sense, but I like it too. And that said, the only thing that needed to make sense for this was that we won the challenge of finding them their dream home. And if you're looking for your dream home, make sure you give us a call to help you, because as much as we love making these videos, we love to help you with your real estate needs just a little bit more. Until next time, we'll see y'all later, and make sure you guys like and subscribe to our channel. See ya.